If Diana's loss was the foundational crack, the rift with his brother, Prince Harry, represents a devastating, ongoing emotional quake. The Fab Four image of William, Kate, Harry, and Meghan, presenting a united, modern front for the monarchy, now feels like a poignant relic. The fallout, detailed in Harry's memoir Spare, interviews and documentaries, presents a narrative of betrayal, misunderstanding, and competing loyalties. From William's perspective, fans speculate he may feel a multifaceted betrayal of family confidence, of the institution he is destined to lead, and of their shared pact to honor their mother's legacy within the system. The emotional reality here is one of profound sadness and likely anger. The brother who was his sole companion in grief, his ally in navigating an absurdly unique childhood, is now publicly dissecting their private conflicts. The us against the world bond has shattered, leaving William not just without a brother in daily life, but with him as a vocal global critic. This isn't a private family disagreement. It's a live, public dissection of his role as heir, his alleged attitudes, and his wife's actions. The emotional toll of managing this while maintaining diplomatic silence is immeasurable. King Charles III's accession propelled William into the direct line of fire. The Sandringham summit that followed the Queen's death, where William, now Prince of Wales, walked with the new King and Queen to meet the crowds, symbolized the seismic shift. His emotional reality is now inextricably linked to the pressures of a slimmed-down monarchy and the shadow of his father's reign. He carries the dual burden of supporting a monarch in his mid-70s while preparing for his own future reign, which may come at an advanced age. Furthermore, he is tasked with making a millennium-old institution relevant for generations skeptical of inherited privilege. His Earthshot Prize initiative is a direct embodiment of this, a global, visionary project attempting to marry royal influence with tangible, progressive change. The emotional weight here is one of colossal responsibility, legacy pressure, and the constant, silent scrutiny of whether he has the intellectual heft and charismatic vision to carry the crown forward in an increasingly fractured world.
In this maelstrom, William's emotional anchor is visibly Catherine. Their relationship, from university sweethearts to a formidable working partnership, represents the stable core he meticulously built. Fans have watched this dynamic with admiration. Catherine is not just a consort. She appears to be his true confidant, the mother of his 3 children who provides the normal home life he craves, and a partner whose own steadiness complements his. Her own health challenges in 2024, however, introduced a new, sharp layer of anxiety. Her cancer diagnosis and treatment forced William into a familiar yet newly terrifying position, the protector fearing for the well-being of his central pillar. His temporary withdrawal from duties to be with her and their children was a powerful, non-verbal communication of his emotional priorities. It screamed that family, above all else, is his sanctuary. For fans, this period underscored that William's greatest fear may not be ascending the throne, but the destabilization of the private world he has so carefully constructed as a bulwark against public chaos. The emotional reality of a future king does not exist in a vacuum. It is reflected, amplified, and often distorted in the digital town square of royal fandom. Reactions are fervent, multifaceted, and deeply polarized. This cohort, often aligned with traditional monarchist views, sees William's emotional journey as a testament to his strength and dedication. They praise his stoicism, his commitment to duty amid personal trials, and view his handling of the Harry situation as dignified restraint. Their reaction is one of fierce protection. Let him grieve in peace. He is doing an impeccable job. Compare his dignity to Harry's theatrics. They see his emotional reality as a private burden he bears nobly. This group, which often overlaps with fans of Catherine, responds to William's displayed vulnerability. They celebrate his openness about mental health, his visible devotion as a father, and his support for Catherine. They argue that his emotional reality makes him more relatable, a modern man preparing for a pre-modern job. Their reactions are filled with heart emojis, praise for his hands-on parenting, and support for his decision to prioritize family. Skeptical of the monarchy's future or influenced by Prince Harry and Meghan's narrative, this faction interprets William's emotional reality differently. They see not stoicism but coldness, not dignity but complicity in a system that drove his brother away. They question his alleged role in the rift and view his public image as a carefully managed PR campaign to obscure a less flattering private persona. Their reactions are probing and often harsh. Where was this emotion when Harry needed him?
He's just as much a product of the institution as Charles.
Transcending fandom factions, this was most evident after Catherine's diagnosis. The outpouring of global support for William as a husband and father was profound. It highlighted a universal human empathy that momentarily stripped away the royal title, revealing a man facing a fear known to millions. Prince William's emotional reality is, at its core, an impossible balancing act. He must be personally grieving while never allowing that grief to be used as a cudgel against the institution he represents. Authority and stability, while also being a modern man allowed human frailty. A dutiful public figure, yet also a private family man fiercely guarding his sanctuary. The symbol of tradition while trying to reform it from within. Prince William faces an emotional reality is not a fleeting headline. It is the ongoing, defining narrative of his life in this epic. The heartbreak symbol is apt, but it is not a single heartbreak. It is a series of fractures, losses, and burdens accumulated over a lifetime in the public eye. Instead, they are participating in a collective, real-time interpretation of monarchy, masculinity, and mental health through the lens of one man's life. They are witnessing the human cost of duty being laid bare in a way unprecedented for a direct heir in the modern media age. Can a man who has been taught to compartmentalize, to serve, and to prepare for a singular destiny truly allow himself the space to feel, to heal, and to be authentically vulnerable? And if he does, will it make him a more empathetic king, or will it be seen as a weakness in an institution that has historically prized impenetrability? His challenge is to integrate his emotional reality into his royal destiny, not suppress it. Whether he succeeds will depend not only on his own resilience, but on the willingness of the institution he will one day lead and the public he will one day serve, to accept that the future king is, irrevocably and humanly, a work in emotional progress. The fans, in their passionate, divided, and empathetic reactions, are already...
The image of Prince William, the Prince of Wales, has long been one of poised stability, the steady helmsman, the dedicated father, the future king being groomed within an inch of his life for the ultimate duty. Yet, beneath the surface of impeccably tailored suits and carefully calibrated public smiles, a profound emotional reality has been unfolding. This is not a story of sudden collapse, but of a gradual, heartfelt confrontation with cumulative grief, fractured family bonds, and the immense pressure of a monarchy in transition. For the global community of royal fans, watching this emotional journey has evolved from mere observation to a deeply felt, often divisive, shared experience. To understand William's present emotional reality, one must return to its foundation, the traumatic loss of his mother, Diana, Princess of Wales. William was not just a prince losing a parent. He was a 15-year-old boy whose mother was extinguished in a globally sensationalized, horrifying manner. The sight of a young William, head bowed, walking behind his mother's coffin alongside his brother, father, and grandfather is seared into public memory. The monarchy's initial stoic, business-as-usual response created a fissure between private agony and public expectation. Royal biographers and psychologists suggest this event forged William's core emotional blueprint, a deep-seated need to protect his private self, a skepticism of the media, and a determination to create a normal family life he felt his mother was denied. For years, fans saw a prince who managed his grief with apparent quiet dignity. However, in recent years, the facade has shown intentional cracks. His candid discussions about the impact of loss, his advocacy for mental health through Heads Together, and his admission that grief still comes out of the blue have revealed a man consciously processing his past. He is no longer the lost boy, but a man acknowledging that the boy's pain is a permanent part of his architecture.